Hello and welcome to Iridium Rock and Metal Reviews. And today we're going to tackle the Michael Sweet solo stuff. So I've got with me today guests Paul Anderson and Mark Cloer. How you doing, guys?
Very good, thanks.
Excellent. So obviously Michael Sweet doesn't get, he gets a bit of love for his solo stuff, but not as much as Striper. So we thought it'd be, cool to let everyone know what we think of our favourites. We're going to do our top. We actually ended up with 7 because of the amount of time the Zoom call takes. So we're going to have 7 each and hopefully get some honourable mentions in as well. And obviously, especially the last 3 albums have been top-notch stuff for me, in my opinion. And there's some good stuff off the other earlier albums as well. So I don't know how your lists are going to reflect. As usual, we don't know each other's lists. So we're going to go, obviously, from 7 to 1, 7 being our least favourite of our top songs, obviously. Who wants to go first?
Let Paul go first.
Yeah. All right. I talked to you earlier. You threw for a loop. I thought we were doing top 10.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah.
I guess top 7 minutes. No problem. I guess I got Taking on the World Tonight. First track off of I'm Not Your Suicide. It was a pretty good start to that album.
Tony Harnell on that one, isn't it?
I loved it. Yeah, it's a bit of a faster pace, and it was good.
Yeah, man. I mean, I like that track. I must admit, I do like that. I was a bit, for me, on that one, the actual chorus. I love the song, but the chorus, the high pitch bit in the chorus put me off a little bit of that one. I don't know if it's Tony Harnell singing it or if it's Michael Sweet. I'm not really sure if it's both of them. But you're a big fan of Tony Harnell, aren't you, Mark, as well?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was supposed to see both of them in concert this year, but it got canceled because of COVID. They probably would have done that song if they had been able to do the shows. But
yeah, I was so looking forward to seeing them in Toronto here, and Man, damn COVID.
Yeah, it's been a bad one. But hopefully, I mean, we know that record in the way of producing like new releases is going to be quite a bit from Michael Sweet this year. That's a good thing. But obviously the live performances, we have to wait for that, won't we? So, but that's a good track, man. I do like
I'm really hoping they do. I really do hope when they start touring again that Michael reconnects that tour with Tony Harnell, though. That would be a pretty epic show, I think.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I also really want to hear Monica Formica, too. But
no, good choice,
right.
man.
Well, that's my number choice. 7.
No, nice. Mark?
My number 7 is Radio off of One Sided War.
I'm gonna write a country song and it won't be long till I'm on the radio. And when it goes to number 1, gonna make the fun like a club in a rodeo. I'm gonna buy me an old phone.
Song was kind of a parody, I guess, of country guys that do country songs when it's really not their genre. And it's kind of funny because he did the same thing on the previous album. A song called Coming Home off of I'm Not Your Suicide that was very country vibe to it. And so I guess he was kind of mocking himself actually in this song. It's as close as I'll ever get to liking a country song.
Mark, you don't like country?
I'm not a country guy at all.
Oh, with that accent? You got that southern drawl there, don't you?
Yeah, I know, but I still don't like country. Anyway, Joel Hoekstra plays the guitar on this, and he does a blazing guitar solo on this song.
Mm-hmm.
Just a very catchy song, and just kind of funny, and a good video to go along with it. And
yeah, the video was awesome.
Yeah,
I like the video.
Yeah, it's a good video, man. It's a good video.
So,
well, my number 7 is also a collaboration. Well, a lot of his solo stuff, isn't it? He's always got someone playing on there, but it's it's Son of Man off the 10 album. So this was obviously a real rocker, and it has to be something special for me to like a fast sort of song, but Son of Man, I mean, it's got 2 of my favourite vocalists on it. It's got Michael Sweet, it's got Todd LaTorra. I mean, this reminds me of Blood From Above a little bit. It's that heaviness of Blood From Above, this one. Yeah. This is real, true metal. it's got Andy James playing the guitar bit on it. I don't know who Andy James is, but he's named as a guitarist on this song. But the guitaring on it throughout this song is absolutely mental. From the beginning, there's a massive solo that comes in at the beginning and after the first chorus as well. And the actual proper solo is mad. And it uses the choir type choruses that they do, that Striper do. You know, they're full choruses. I love them when they do that. A very technical song. And like I said, I mean, I don't know. I think Todd Latorre lifts this song even more. Being one of my favourite vocalists, I think he adds him and Michael Sweet, their voices together are just amazing. So, Son of Man is my number 7.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay, back to Paul.
So, number 6, I got the title track off of One-Sided War. Very good song musically. I love the message. I love the whole concept of, like, you know, Michael has dealt with all these media back and forth, especially with Blabbermouth. I don't know who writes that stuff. It's just like, and then he's, I guess in this song kind of really came from his little online spat with Skid Row singer.
Sebastian Bach, yeah. Yeah.
Sebastian Bach, yes. Sorry. I should know that. He's from my hometown here. Anyways. But yeah, that was it was a good song. I you know, definitely really enjoyed the catchy riffs to it, and yeah, it was kind of a good message. Just sometimes we just need to back down, and you know, it's not my war. You want to keep going, but I'm out.
I think he's easier to argue with than Sebastian Bach. I can imagine he's not you know, it's easy to wind him up.
It doesn't take much, I don't think.
No.
Well, there's a few stories here in Peterborough, Ontario, where he grew up. That of a few times that he got a little carried away in various bars in town.
Yeah,
So-
I bet. He's a big bloke and all. He's a big guy, isn't he? So yeah, definitely. Okay, brilliant choice, mate. Back to Mark.
All right, my number 6 is kind of an odd choice. Blue Bleeds Through off of Truth. As you know, there's actually 2 versions of this album. I actually like the original version off of the independent release. I think better than the second version of the album. It just sounds a little more pure. It shows what a vocal athlete Michael Sweet truly is.
Mhm.
I was a bit put off with this song when I first heard it 20 plus years ago because of the yodeling that he does in the chorus. But as time has gone on, I've realized it takes some damn talent to do that. And I don't know if he can still do it now or not because his voice has changed over the last 20 years. But just a cool song and unlike anything I've ever heard before. And like I said, it's just kind of grown on me over the years.
A cool choice, man. A cool choice.
That was you know, I'm gonna have to give this album a really thorough listen through. The times that I've tried to listen to that album, I just couldn't get into it. It was the only Michael Sweet / Striper album that I just, for whatever reason, it just was a little too weird for me.
It's very eclectic. There's a lot of different styles on it. It's not like his last 2 albums that were just pure metal. There were a lot of styles on that album, both versions of it. And yeah, I agree. It takes some growing.
We were originally talked about doing the top our album ranking for this show too, but we're gonna probably do that for another one. And I'm just gonna give a little headline that I did have that as my bottom. So, but as I said, maybe I'll give it another listen a few times, and maybe it'll grow on me over time. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, my number 6 also comes off of the same album, and this is as I was listening to these albums, I was talking to Paul earlier, Mark, and saying that I haven't listened to much of the older ones. You know, I have heard them all, but not for a long time. You know, and I did notice he tried to get. I think he went a bit heavier on this compared to the albums before, but it wasn't true. Like you said, it wasn't a full metal heaviness. It was a mixture of different sort of heavy styles. And the actual one I've chosen has got that sort of different style. It's Save Me, I've chosen from Truth, and it's sort of got like
I do like that song.
Yeah, I mean, it's got it's the crushing riff at the beginning. I'm sorry to say, it reminded me a little bit of Alice in Chains, sort of a grungy type riff at the beginning. Definitely, like a real sort of deep, sort of dirty, grungy sort of riff. But my favourite part of it is actually the chorus. I just think the chorus is so soaring. It makes the song, and that's definitely not the grunge part of it. The chorus probably could have fitted in the later albums, like the last 3 albums. You know, it really stuck out, this song, to me, with the whole album, especially that chorus, and it differs from the sound of the rest of the album as well, this actual song. And I think that's where there was a lot of different styles on that album, you know, but this song really stood out to me. The chorus is great. Absolutely brilliant. That's my number 6. Save Me.
Yeah, that one actually was not on the original version. It only was on the second issue, but yeah. That's definitely up.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Back to Paul.
All right. Number 5 was Golden Age off of One Sided War. The only notes I really put on that is that it was a real barn burner. You know, I know that, Lee, you're more into the mid-tempo, and I enjoy the mid-tempo too, but I do love it when he just goes no holds barred and goes a little nuts. Yeah. That song was a fun song to listen to.
No, that's a good. I mean, what I did, because I only listened to them all yesterday, and I actually scored each song. So I'm finding this interesting. As you're naming your songs, I've scored each song out of 10 as well. So I've actually got quite a high score on that one. But yeah, this is quite interesting, reading my scores as you're saying them. So it's a good choice, man. Golden Age is a good choice. Okay.
Okay. Am I up now? My next one is Better Part of Me off of 10. Heavy song. Got Jeff Loomis from Arch Enemy on guitar. Probably one of the heaviest songs Michael's ever done on a solo album.
He really has gone. He really has gone sort of full metal, hasn't he, on these last 3 albums, especially on the last 2. Actually, have been proper. You know, some of the songs for me could be Striper songs easy. You know, got that sound.
When 10 came out, I put it on Facebook and I said, this is easily, I put that as Michael Sweet's best material, including Striper at the time. Now it's been outdone since Even the Devil Believes. He just has a way of just lately, the next one's always the better one. But yeah, I love that whole album. So.
You can definitely tell the difference between his solo stuff most of the time, but occasionally there's a song on these albums, even the new ones, and you think, yeah, that could definitely be on those last 4 albums. Yeah, there's certain songs, not all of them, but certain songs, for sure. What
I find is really interesting, though, is that, I mean, Michael is uber talented, Robert's uber talented, Oz is uber talented, but when you start taking like a vocalist for like like Michael Sweet, and then you put it with some of these other guitar players and drummers that are just like at the top of their game too. And it's just, it brings something. I don't know. It's just, I've absolutely just loved what he's done with these last couple of albums, just getting all these guests on. You know, like a lot of guys would just go, if they're doing a solo, and they just throw a band together and they would record the whole album that way, right? But the fact that he went and got all these different guests to do different songs was really cool, I think.
I think it really works as well because Michael's singing on all of them. Sometimes when you get these albums that have got a lot of artists on them, but there's different singers on the songs, that sometimes puts me off of an album. It's not cohesive when you hear like 4 or 5 different singers across. It takes a really good album for me to get into that. But as soon as it's Michael singing across the lot, it works. Definitely works. Brilliant. Okay, my number 5 is off of I'm Not Your Suicide. It's The Calls. So yeah, I think this is a great song, man. It actually reminds me a little bit. It's got the similar feel at the beginning to sing-along song off of To Hell with the Devil. It's got that little keyboard bit. Do you know what I mean? Which is quite. It's sort of like It sort of sounds a bit like that, but very catchy in the verses. That's my favourite part. The verses are really catchy. It's another choir type chorus, and the solo, so much melody in the solo. I'm not sure who's doing the solo, but it's a very simple sort of following the groove of the song, not too technical. And you know, within this song, I always stayed within the groove of the song. I just thought it straight away. I love it, the melody of it, a brilliant song. The calls from "I'm Not Your Suicide." That's my number 5, guys.
All right. Well, my number 4 is the title track off that album, "I'm Not Your Suicide." Great song. I don't get as technical. I think you guys probably know that already in the calls that we've done. I don't get as technical into the music like you do. I look at just the overall, what it does for me as a feeling. And I also look heavily at the message and things like that. And just, yeah, I mean, it was just great song all around. Loved the message. And yeah, just another knocked one out of the park. That was the first of these last 3, and really, really good song.
He definitely does he's got some good title tracks, hasn't he? Without a doubt.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, without a doubt. No, that's a good choice, man.
That is so true. Even if you think that, compare, like, you even add those up to Striper, and
yeah,
like, you just think of all the title tracks and just how many of them were just huge hits.
And that
in
used
their
to,
own right. Like,
that used to be a big thing in the 80s as well. You know, I mean, you remember, I know we're going off track a bit, when you talk about Dio, some of the biggest tracks, when they The Last in Line, Holy Diver, they were the big tracks of the album, you know. You don't really want to name an album after a crap track, do you? It just wouldn't be. You need something a bit good, don't you?
that is true. That is true.
That's a good choice, though, man. I might have some, we might have some similar songs coming up. So, okay, back to Mark.
Okay, Paul and I are obviously on the same wavelength with that one because that was my number 4 also. I'm Not Your Suicide. Love that song.
Yeah.
Again, Joel Hoekstra on guitar, and got Kenny Arnoff on drums on that one. He did the beast on drums. Yeah, that's just a great, catchy song. It's not terribly heavy, nothing like was on the last 2 albums, but it's very catchy song, very memorable, and like he said, great message about bullying.
Very important message for our time, for sure.
Great timing, great timing. Yeah, great song, great.
Nah, brilliant choice, lads. Brilliant choice. My number 4 has already been chosen. I think Mark chose this one. Better Part of Me. Yeah. So off of 10, obviously. Yeah. So yeah, full on metal start to this song, real heavy. It sort of has a sort of galloping feel to this sort of, you know, I love that sort of gallop that he's got going on in this. I love the guitars, very technical, almost like that rhythm guitar is almost Jake E. Lee type. You know what I mean? Like that, like that sort of Jake E. Lee feel to it. And definitely could be a Striper song, I think, Better Part of Me. Definitely could. It's got that Striper feel, tone to it. Love it, absolutely love it. Like I said, we've all said 10 was a great album. And, you know, I don't know where it'd be in my ranking. I haven't actually added that up yet, but we'll have to do that. I'm sure it'll be right up there, but what a brilliant album. And Better Part of Me, that's my number 4. Okay. So the number 3's Paul.
Right.
Oh, God, we've got the cat coming in.
My number 3 is, now there was 2 versions of this song on the album. It was from One Sided War, and it was Can't Take This Life, and it was the version with Monica Formica. That girl just is one powerhouse vocalist. I've loved her from the moment I heard her the first time Michael talked about her. Seeing, you know, he mentioned how he poked this, she was opening up for him, and he kept poking his head out to say, like, who is that girl? And I watched her in her rise on The Voice. Unfortunately, I don't think what's her name, Miss Hannah Montana. I don't think she knew talent when she saw it. She kicked her off pretty early. But anyways, no, what just a phenomenal song. I love the mix of the 2 vocals. 2 powerhouse vocalists in their own right, and musically it was great. Just loved it.
Cool choice, mate. Cool choice.
She was very young too. She recorded that. I thought it was a mature woman singing that song. When I've looked her up, she was only like 15 or 16.
Something like that. I think, or maybe, yeah, something like that. She was, I think, 16 when he first met her. So yeah, and it was shortly after that he invited her to play on the album. So
Like a young Ann Wilson.
yeah,
Brilliant.
just great. I would love to see her in concert someday.
Cool choice, man.
Actually, she was going to be on that tour with Michael and Tony Harnell too. So
Yeah. Cool.
Another one you missed out on.
Okay.
Nice. Not good. Not good at all, is it?
yeah,
Maybe next year.
I think it's free.
Yeah. Okay. My number 3, again, is kind of an odd choice, I guess, but it's the title track off of Real. Almost a ballad type song. It's got kind of a U2 vibe to it. Just a powerful song as far as the lyrics. I mean, he's singing it from the perspective of Christ. And as a Christian, you can't listen to that and not feel moved by the lyrics. But just a great catchy song.
100% agree with that one. That was that made my honorable mentions for sure.
Cool.
Yeah, love that song.
Good choice. Good choice.
Love that album, actually.
Okay, my number 3. You've already had. I think both of you guys have had. This is "I'm Not Your Suicide." One of you definitely has had it. I think Paul had it. "I'm Not Your Suicide" title track.
Yeah.
I was sanctified. I used to feel justified. I need to be crucified by you, by you. My life has just begun. I'm standing in the shiny sun. I'm not gonna run and hide, lay down and die. No, not your suicide.
The chorus for me makes this song, yet again, really soaring, so catchy, almost sort of like a sad sort of sound, slight sad sort of sound to this sort of melancholy sort of chorus. This, though, sounds more of a solo song, even though it's, it's such a great, it stands sort of separate for me, just the sound of it, than a Striper song. Nice, yet again, a nice simple solo. I do like a melodic solo when they don't go too mad. I think you need that sometimes in songs. Do you know what I mean? It just, we know all these guys can play really technical. I'm not sure who actually plays. You might know Mark, who played the solo in this. I don't know, but it's just yeah. Oh well, he's a great guitarist, isn't he? And he can play anything. But I just like it sometimes when they keep it simple. When it's a nice melody, I'd rather have that than a full speed, mad song. But "I'm Not Your Suicide," what a great track, title track. That's my number 3.
Yeah, I don't think a full-blown metal solo would have even fit that song. It's perfect the way he did it.
Definitely. Okay, getting interesting now. Number 2.
Number 2 for me is off of 10, and this song was my favorite when I first heard it, but got eclipsed by one more. So, but it was "Shine." My gosh, man, that song, it actually, heavy song, really heavy musically, amazing guitar riffing on it. The vocal is phenomenal. But what really, really got me on that song was the lyrics. I think of myself, I always had a very poor self-esteem when I was younger. And that song just really spoke to me, like, you're worth it. You know, don't let anybody tell you that your life doesn't matter, or that, you know, that you're here because God put you here for a purpose. And my God, that song just broke me in so many ways. When I first heard it, like, it literally brought tears to my eyes when I'd listened to it. And so many times I was crying in the car while I was jamming out.
You know what, man? I think it's so cool that, you know, people can take different perspectives from songs and different things from songs and make them their favourite songs, you know. I mean, like the way you look at lyrics, Darren's a bit like that, and he might, you know, a lyric itself will make him like the song better than another song, and that is so cool how everyone takes different parts of songs, you know. I think it's great. I think it's great. And it's what the artist would want. You know, an artist don't sit there and write lyrics just to fill the song up. He wants people to, you know, they want people to study the lyrics and to mean something. So I think it's so cool that, you know, lyrics mean so much to people. It's great. It's absolutely great. Okay. Mark, you're number 2.
My number 2 is back to One-Sided War, I Am. Heavy song. Just love that song. Again, one of the heavier ones he's done. I liked it enough to make it my number 2.
That's great, mate. That's great. Well, my number 2 is already been mentioned again. It's the title track of One-Sided War. I don't know if you both have that. I know Paul's had it. Have you had that one, Mark?
No, I didn't have that one, Paul.
So almost as a Queensryche type feel. And I know they've got a lot of connections, like Striper, especially lately with Queensryche. But I don't know why certain bits, people will probably think I'm mad thinking that, but it sort of sounded a little bit like that to me. Loved a lot of picky guitar bits in the verses. Soaring chorus again, similar to I'm Not Your Suicide, but not a sort of a sad, sort of more uplifting chorus, I suppose. This one has got a mad solo in it, very technical. I think it might be, no, I can't think who it is on it. I thought it was Gus G, but I don't think it is. But a very technical solo, a very good solo. But One-Sided War, what a great song. What a great song. Just to let you know, guys, we've got 9 minutes left. All right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay. And we're at number 1. We're at number 1.
Number 1. Now this song here, I gotta say, Lee, you shocked me. I thought for sure both you and I would have this as number 1. But it was Son of Man off 10.
Got the rainy left the four winds. That's when the trumpet will blow. He's a son of man. Coming back again. Son of man. The sun will be.
You had it number 7. I had it number 1. I know you love Queensryche. I know you love Todd Latour.
Oh, yeah.
My gosh, when I first heard this song, as I said, I absolutely was in love with Shine, and I still am. But man, when that video came out for Son of Man, and you heard that vocal take off from Todd Latour,
Yeah.
I'm like, game over.
Yeah.
This is like one of the greatest songs I've ever heard. I gotta say it too. I love the fact, you know, you and I had our show we did about, you know, me the Christian, you're the atheist, and talking about the message and stuff. And you got to hand it to Michael Sweet, who's can have a guy who's also a professed atheist sing all about the rapture.
Yeah.
Second coming of Christ. It's like, it was kind of interesting, but it worked. And, you know, I always have this thing. I say God's word doesn't return void. So, you know, who knows? I mean, maybe there's
2 of these guys. I mean, they seem to be. I don't know them personally, but they both seem to be very nice blokes. I mean, Todd Latour has even been. I don't need to name drop, but we was messaging each other last night about his new song, and he seems as such a nice guy, just like Michael Sweet. Answers.
Yeah, Michael's mentioned that a few times, that he's just a super nice guy. So.
Yeah,
and incredibly talented, both vocally and on drums.
Yeah,
so
definitely. Seems like a great guy. That's a brilliant choice, though, mate. he's a brilliant choice. Okay, number 1 from you, Mark.
Okay, I didn't want to give anything away earlier, but my number 1 was your number 6, "Save Me" off of Truth.
Finisher, oh finisher, can you save me from myself? Are you blind, but I can see my life's as good as hell. I'm not God, I'm just a man, what would ever make me think I could get to heaven
Just absolutely love that song. So heavy, probably the heaviest solo song prior to One-Sided War. I can't think of anything off of the previous albums that was anywhere near that as far as heaviness. I think that would have been a great Striper song. I would love to hear a Striper version of it with he and Oz doing the guitar interplay. I don't know that it would be any better, but that's just a great song.
It is a brilliant song.
That riff just gets in my mind, and I can't get it out of there. Yeah. Love it.
Right, okay. Well, my number 1, I wasn't actually sure if this is an unusual one or not, because with Michael Sweet songs, I suppose it's a bit hard to tell more than everyone knows what everyone's Striper sort of songs are, but I suppose with Michael Sweet songs it's a little bit hard to tell if this is a real popular song. It's off the 10 album and it's Now or Never. So, I mean, I just think this is a real metal riff again in the verse. It's sort of classic. This has got a classic sort of Striper tones, stroke sound. A medium pace song. Well, you know what I think of medium pace songs, and they're my favourite. The chorus is real epic, sort of has an epic feel to it. This one has got Gus G on guitar. And he showcases his brilliant guitar playing on this. Sort of got a power metal feel with the chanting as well in this. I absolutely love this song. It's easily, I mean, all these songs are brilliant, but this is just one step above the rest for me. It just clings to me, just like I suppose your number 1s do to you guys. You know what I mean? It's just like a special song. I just think it's absolutely brilliant. It was my number 1 as soon as I was going through these songs. Straight away, I thought, yes, that's the top. It's got something that grabs me. I don't know what it is, but that's it. That's our top 7. Now we're just going to name some honorable mentions by name. What didn't just quite make the list? We go to Paul first.
Okay, I'm just going to run through my list of honorable mentions. Does that work? We'll do it really quick.
Yep.
Because I had 9, but now I have 12. But I'll do it really quick.
Yeah, I've got about that. Don't worry.
And there's no particular order, to be honest with you, because I didn't take time to really think about the order. But I've got All This in Heaven 2 off of 1994. That was kind of the first rocker off that album. I remember watching the video, loved it, great song. Next one was also another, I think that was the second single off that album, was Someday, and it was the ballad. To this day, one of my favorite Michael Sweet solo ballads. I just love that song. I had The River from Real. That's another awesome guitar ballad, and I loved it. It's a powerful message as well of hope and redemption in Christ. Who Am I from One-Sided War, another ballad, but man, that song was just so powerful. All I Want to Do, which is actually from 2 albums. It was on Unstriped, which was his post-Striper sessions. That was just a little 6-song EP. It was a little more raw there. And then he also had it on 1994, which of course did have some better production. I Need You Now from Unstriped, another ballad, really like that one. Tomorrow Tonight, also from 1994. That was a really jazzy type beginning, that song. It kind of, I'm a sucker for the saxophone, so I just like love the beginning of that song. Second Chance from Real, the title track from Real. I'm Not Your Suicide. I also took Heart of Gold, the version with Electra Mustang. Great tune. Of course, that's an ode to my Canadian roots there with Neil Young. Unsuspecting, another barn burner off of I'm Not Your Suicide. And I also had Save Me from Truth.
Cool.
So
Straight
it's a
up
real
to
rush through the 12, but
No, that's cool. Straight up to I've got a couple of minutes left.
Okay, I had 6. I had the title track to Truth, Miles Away off of Not Your Suicide, All This in Heaven 2, The River, Remember Me from Real, and Forever Yours, also from the debut album.
Cool. Right, I've got 3 off the Michael Sweet solo album. All This in Heaven 2. All I Want to Do Is Love You, and I Think You Hear Me Knocking. Off of Real, I've got Second Chance and The River. Off of Truth, I've got Tomorrow and the title track Truth. Off of One Sided War, I've got Bizarre, Can't Take This Life, and Only You. Off of 10, I've got Forget, Forgive, Ricochet, and With You Till the End. So, I mean, to tell you the truth, on those last 3 albums, I had so many honourable mentions. I could have, anything that didn't make my list of 7 could have been an honourable mention. So, you know, it's just mad. But
With You to the End probably should have been on mine too. Like, that's
Yeah.
another song. I just love that song too. Like, just so many good tunes he's put out lately. It's crazy.
Right, guys, we're out of time. I'm sorry about that. So it was a great show. And any last words quickly? You've got less than a minute.
Just once again, I want to thank you for having us on. It's love chatting our mutual interest in Michael Sweet and Stryper. And who knows, maybe I'll branch out and do another one with you on another topic. But
We'll be doing ranking the albums next. You all right for that, Mark?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. All right. I'll speak to you soon. All right. Cheers, guys.
all right, thanks.